Hi there. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Ken Ajoku. I'm going to be your host today, and we're going to be sharing 6 different property strategies and the advantages of those strategies. So let me share my screen, and then I will take you through the presentation. So bear with me just a moment. Let's share the screen. Okay, wonderful. All right. So professional property investing, and this is the presentation. As I said, my name is Ken Ajoku. I'm going to be presenting for you. If you've not heard of me before, I have been property investing for the last 25 years, and I run a number of companies, all evolving around real estate and property investing. And I'm going to share 6 different strategies with you in this presentation. So let's have a look. So we're going to be exploring 6 property investment strategies, as I mentioned already, and I am going to be presenting for you. These 6 strategies are going to be the buy-to-let strategy, rent-to-rent, service accommodation, HMO, property sourcing for investors, and also property flips. So I'll be sharing those with you. So a little bit of background about myself. I've been investing since 1993. Where I bought my first property, £74,000. It is now worth £550,000. And I've continued to buy additional properties. I run a training academy where I teach and mentor mentees that do property investing. I run a sourcing company where we source property for investors. I also run a lettings company. I've had contract with the local council for the last 15 plus years, where we offer guaranteed rent to landlords. And I also run a development company where we develop properties for ourselves and also for our clients. Okay, so let's go into the different strategies. So first strategy, as I mentioned, is the buy-to-let strategy, and I'm going to go through some advantages of this. So the first one is obviously rental income. Being able to get a steady source of rental income from your buy-to-let property. The second one is capital appreciation. That is the property increases over time, the value increases over time. As I mentioned a little bit earlier on, that I had a property I bought in 1993, and it's gone up considerably since that time by capital appreciation, giving me the ability to pull out money from that and use that money to buy additional properties. So capital appreciation is another advantage. There are also tax benefits. If you're, for example, structuring your purchase through a limited company, there's some tax breaks that you can enjoy, and also some deductions of expenses that can be taken off of the, off your property business. The fourth advantage is portfolio diversification. So instead of having, some people have shares and assets and different types of assets in their portfolio. So property or real estate is another asset that you could be adding to your portfolio. And fifthly, this is just 5. There's so many more, but I'm keeping it brief so I'll be able to go through the 6 different strategies. So long-term wealth, building equity for the future and for building your profits in the future, and also even to hand it down as an asset that can be given to loved ones, to family members, to children, etc. So it's, is a heritage that can continue to go. All right, so that's the buy-to-let property strategy. Let's look at the rent-to-rent property strategy and the advantages that some of the advantages that this gives. So one of the biggest advantages is that you don't have to own the property. So you don't need to purchase that property, which means you don't have to put down a large deposit to buy that property, because you're renting a property from an owner and then you're going to rent it out and make money on top. It's an income generator. You can generate property from subletting. So you can rent out the property as a whole unit and then split it up into rooms and then rent it out on a room by room basis, or you can sublet it out to another tenant for a higher margin. It has a lower risk. So you have a reduced exposure to property ownership because you don't own the property. The risk is less for you because you're not the property owner. The fourth is scaling opportunity. So you can expand quite rapidly with low capital. You don't need to put too much capital down to expand and get more and more rent-to-rent properties. And lastly, the flexibility. You can find properties, for example, that are in high demand areas where there's a lot of demand. So therefore you can satisfy that demand and make profits quite quickly. As I said, this is just a few of the advantages. There's so many more. Some of the more advantages I will highlight in the professional property investing blueprint. When you order that, I'll be able to give you an additional audio and additional video with more in-depth, insight behind all of these different strategies. So we have also the next one is the service accommodation strategy. And some of the advantages include having higher rental income. So your premium rates for furnished, you can charge a premium rate for furnished accommodation. You have the flexibility, so you can enjoy it for personal use as well. So some of my clients have got a property, for example, and they rent it out themselves. They use it themselves on the holiday period, and also they let it out on a service accommodation basis on a night-by-night basis, almost like a mini hotel. Number three is tax benefits. Again, you can deduct for expenses. You can deduct for your cleaning and other things that can be deducted. If you structure that properly, you can make that very beneficial for yourself. Fourthly, it's a short-term let agreement. So it's not a full tenancy agreement. You just have a short-term let agreement with your landlord, and you can adapt to the market changes. So, for example, if there is the demand goes down, you can have an opportunity to give back that property. So you're not forced to keep that property as you would if you had purchased it. And lastly, it's rapid cash flow. You get upfront payments for short stays. So if you have, for example, I think it's self-explanatory. You're getting that money straight away for those short stays. So someone could stay for 2 days, 2 nights, 3 nights, and give you quite a substantial cash flow for that period of time. So it's quite lucrative. Let's look at HMO properties and the HMO property strategy. So some of the advantages of this strategy is higher rental income. So because you're renting multiple rooms separately, you have the opportunity to boost your income that way. The second one is diversification. You have multiple tenants, which reduces your risk. So for example, if you had a single property with just one tenant in there, and that tenant is void, or the tenant leaves and the place is empty, then you've got the building void. Whereas if you have a HMO, which is a house of multiple occupancy, which has many rooms, and you have one room that's void, you still got the income or the rental income that's coming from the 4 other rooms or the 5 other rooms or how many other rooms you've got. So it minimizes and reduces your risk. The third thing is you have a shorter vacancy period. So one tenant leaving doesn't mean that the entire property is vacant. So you only have to worry about that one tenant leaving and then replacing that tenant, replacing that tenant with another suitable tenant for the property. The fourth one is economies of scale. You can reduce your operating costs per room. So as you scale, you can reduce your costs because you're working on a volume basis. And lastly, the increased demand. If there's increased demand in the area, you can work with attracting more people to high demand areas, and you can even increase the rent in those areas, because at the moment, as we are speaking now, rent prices are steadily going up because less people are in a position to purchase because the interest rate is quite high. So these are some of the things that you can benefit from, that you can really take a full advantage of the situation. All right, let's have a look at the property sourcing strategy, one of my favorite strategies. The advantage of this is having specialized knowledge. Now, you need to learn how to do this properly to be an expert in your local area. I always tell my students to focus on the area that they're in, because they know the area. They know the area. If they've been living that area for a while, you know the places that are rough, you know the places that are good, you know where the houses are, better houses are, etc. So know the area very well. For the investor is a time saving, is, you know, time and effort is saved. So you save the time and effort on property searches because you know what you're doing, and you're saving the investor that time, so you can pass on the saving by charging them for your time doing that. The third thing is access to off-market deals. As a property sourcer, that's one of your primary goals, is to find unique opportunities that are off-market. There's many strategies to do that, and this is something that you can take full advantage of, and receive a fee. You could charge the investors a fee for sourcing properties for them, and we could talk about thousands of pounds per deal here. So this is very, very lucrative opportunity for you as a property sourcer. The fourth advantage is the reduced risk. Once you've done your due diligence and your research on each property, you reduce the risk on yourself because you're not buying the property, and you reduce the risk for the investor because you've done the necessary due diligence. Number five is you can find tailored investment opportunities which aligns with the goals and requirements of the investor. So the investor might say that they're looking for particular types of property in particular areas. It might be that they're looking for buy-to-lets. It might be they're looking for land developments. It might be they're looking for properties that they can convert into smaller properties, like what we call title splitting. You can split it from a house into flat A, flat B, flat C, etc. That sort of thing. So those are opportunities for tailored investment opportunities for investors who will pay you to find those properties for them. So property flip strategy. Let's look at the advantages of these. In case you don't know what property flip is, it's when you buy a property and then you renovate it and then you flip it for significant profit. So the first one is obviously the profit potential. It has a significance of getting lots of profit from renovating and selling the property. There are other strategies now that you don't actually even need to buy the property. Those I can show you a bit later on how those can be done as well, because there's so many strategies out there that you can deploy that doesn't necessarily need to use a lot of money to do. So very, very clever strategic ways of doing property. Number two is short-term investment. So you are only putting your money down for possibly 6 months or 9 months, depending on the size of the development. So you can develop, you can quickly flip, get your money back out, and then go and do it again and again and again. And if you use what we call OPM, other people's money, you can do this more frequently as well. So there's strategies to do that, which I'll be able to share with you later on. Number three, enhancing property value. So the idea is to increase the market value of the property through renovation. Now, it's important that you obviously know the market value of the property in the first place and what they actually are worth when they're done up. So when you renovate that property or do that property up, is in a position to get the maximum profit from it. So this you have to know how to do as well. It's something that can be taught, and it's not very difficult once you know how to do it. Number four, you have control over the renovation. So because it's your property flip, you have control over that renovation. It's not external investors that are determining how that's going to go or how it's going to happen. You have control over that investment or over that renovation. You can manage project manage the property yourself as it's been developed. And this is good if you want to have hands-on experience or learn how to do it, yourself. So you can get someone else to do it and watch how they do it, or you can do it yourself and learn as you're going along. So you have control over the renovation, which is good. And lastly is an active investment. So it's hands-on, and you're engaging with real estate investment. So you're hands-on now. You're getting hands-on knowledge, hands-on training, and you're there on the ground as it's going. So if this is a strategy that you like to get involved with, then that's something that you can do also with property flips, the property flip strategy. So in conclusion, what I'd like to say is each property strategy has its own advantages. So it really does depend on the person getting involved. Choosing the right strategy depends on your goals and your resources. So what do you want to achieve at the end of it? How much money and time do you have? How much knowledge do you have? These are your resources. So when you put all those into context, you would know which one will suit you best. So professional property investing offers diverse opportunities for success. And what I like to say is that the professional property investing, let me just put my camera on so I can show you this. The professional property investing blueprint, as I've shown before, this is it here. This will be sent to you as a free gift for you. All you have to do is cover the shipping, and it will cover a number of things for you. In there is a strategy. It talks about the startup cost, the learning curve, what is involved, and then the commitment, your commitment, what you would have to commit. So this is a free gift to you. Just cover the shipping. Click on the link below and you'll be able to get that down to you. And also, I'd like to just stress that if you have any questions that perhaps have not been covered in this presentation, then an email will be automatically sent to you, and there'll be a link to my personal calendar. We're giving to you a free gift. I will give you a consultation, free consultation, worth £295, and that will be free for you as an additional gift that you'll be able to take that opportunity. So you'll be able to ask any questions you like, take up that opportunity, click on the link, book a time that's convenient for yourself into my calendar, and then we can have a chat if that's something that you want to do. If not, that's fine. You can just take advantage and download the blueprint, not download, sorry, and order the blueprint, and then that will be sent to you. You know, just cover the shipping, that'll be sent to you directly, and then, you know, you'll be able to decide what you want to do from there. So I hope that has helped. That has given you some ideas of the 6 different strategies that you can do yourself, that you can deploy, that you can start thinking about, so you can create that financial freedom for yourself. You can create that flexibility. You can create another additional income stream for yourself and your family, and then you can take your property business to new levels. Get started if you haven't started, or take it to new levels if you've already started. God bless you. Thank you so much for listening, and take care. I look forward to speaking to you and doing some business with you, helping you on your property journey. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.